College basketball. This is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. I'm going to head to the Big East Conference with the St. John's Red Storm versus the Louisville Cardinal at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. Cardinals open up as large 17.5-point home favorites. That number has dropped down to basically 17 across the board in the market, while the total has moved upward from 131 at the opener to 131.5. St. John Red Storm won six of their last eight games. They're coming off a 77-58 loss to the Syracuse Orange as 13.5-point road underdogs. They've gone over the total in their last 5 games after going under the total in their previous 5. Head coach Steve Lavin will not be on the bench for the second consecutive game. He's dealing with the death of his 82-year-old father, Cap Lavin. So definitely something to consider when handicapping this game, especially with the fact that the Red Storm have won 9 games against top 25 foes since he took over this program 3 years ago. But Lavin's been on the bench for 8 of those. Of course, he missed most of the 2011-12 campaign getting over prostate cancer surgery. So when Lavin is not on the bench, the expectation of this team knocking off a foe of this kind definitely drops a bit. I'd be more interested in playing the road underdog if Lavin was on the sideline. 0-3 against the spread when this team's lost as road underdogs in conference play this year. They've failed to cover the spread by an average of 4.8 points per game in that situation. When you look at the Louisville Cardinal, they come off a classic. Unfortunately for them, it ended up being in the loss column rather than the win column. 104-101 setback in 5 overtimes to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That, of course, was on primetime television on Saturday night. That was the first time that this school has lost a game when scoring over 100 or more points in a contest. They land in a good spot to bounce back here. 10-4 all-time in this series, including 6-0 at home. They picked up a 73-58 victory in the series a year ago as 8.5-point road favorites. That one falling under the total of 133. They held St. John's to 18 of 64 shooting from the field. The under has been the way to go in terms of total wagering in the series. 5-2-1 in the last 8 meetings since 2010-11. Something that I handicapped in depth this morning shooting live from Las Vegas is the fact that the Cardinals have gone under the total in 7 of the last 8 conference games when returning home off a road loss. So this team is one of the better teams in covering the spread off a straight-up loss, but in terms of playing defense and getting after it on that end, they definitely ramp up the intensity when coming off a loss and returning home in front of their home faithful at the KFC Yum Center. 32-9 in February the last 6 years. That is definitely one of the better marks that you'll find in the Big East play, due to the fact that when you're in February, most of your games are taking place against conference opponents, of course. 32% of the Cardinals' points this season have come off turnovers. I'm not sure that they're going to reach that figure in this particular affair, due to the fact that St. John's is one of the more athletic teams and can get back in transition. And also, Louisville might become a little wary at the end of this game due to that 5 overtime, even though they've had a good amount of rest. Not sure this team's going to run as much as they normally do. And also, in terms of betting the total, both of these teams shoot under 70% from the charity stripe. Another reason why my official pick on this game is going to be under 131.5 in Thursday night's game featuring the St. John's Red Storm and Louisville Cardinals. You can follow me on Twitter for any further information on this game at Jeff Grant Sports or any other on the college basketball board. You're also going to want to check out 2 more videos that I'm shooting today. One of them, of course, being the UCLA Bruins taking on the California Golden Bears, and also the Wisconsin Badgers versus the Minnesota Golden Gophers. But this has been another edition of Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com.